Theatermakers Challenge. Places, please. Places, please.
Welcome everyone to the Places Please Theatermaker Challenge. I'm not gonna lie, this weekend I was looking through the New York Times and I saw all of those Broadway shows and I might have cried. I don't know about you, but with Broadway and live theater returning to the stage this month, we wanted to bring everyone together again. So this is your Places Call. I will be your host this week and I can't wait to soak up these tips and sources of inspiration from our speakers over the next few days. So let us know in the comments where you're watching from today. And you can expect accountability, connection, awesome giveaway prizes, motivation, and more. So let's get started. Throw a yes in the comments if you're ready to get started. Okay, I'm going to kick it off with our first guest. You all know him, you all love him. He's a Tony Award-winning theater maker and founder of the Theatermakers Studio. Welcome to the challenge, Ken!
Kerry Butler, Broadway's Kerry Butler, everybody. Hi, everybody. Welcome to the Theatermakers Studio Places Please Challenge. Kerry, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having me.
It's such a thrill to see you. We're so lucky to have you. First of all, how many people are excited that Beetlejuice is coming back to Broadway? Can we talk about that for a moment? Did you know, Kerry? How far in advance did you know? Were you?
They did tell me, and they've been really, really nice. They're like, we're putting out this announcement, and we had heard for a while that it was possible that we had the theater, but then, it's like nobody knows anything, like what's going to happen with Broadway. We all don't know what's going to happen now.
No one knows a thing. That's the one thing I know. We don't know anything right
now.
Nothing. But what we do know is we're back. And I'm so excited that you're back with us today. And we're going to get to hang out. Kerry's actually going to do the role of Ellen Griswold in the reading of Broadway Vacation we have coming up. So we're going to be able to hang out very safely in a rehearsal room together. We're going to get nasal swabbed probably like 27 times, but it'll be good. All right, I'm ready to kick it off. Kerry, we'll see you back here in a moment or two. First of all, let me say hello to everyone in the chat. And I'm having major deja vu / PTSD because I'm back in StreamYard. Regina is producing. It feels like we're live streaming again, just like we did at the beginning of this pandemic a year and a half ago. Look at all these incredible people we have here today. New York City is here, of course. Snaps back at you, Stephen. The Bronx is here. I saw Switzerland in the house, Toronto in the house, East Village, of course. Hello, Lauren. Hello, Doug. Halifax, Nova Scotia. Amazing, amazing. Welcome to everybody, and thanks so much for being here. We're going to kick it off. I have been so excited about Broadway coming back. I will tell you, the streets just below me, just down below my office right here in New York City are filled with people and more. And I'm going to tease a little bit of a reel I'm going to post later on today. But there were something like 60 performances of Broadway shows last week, 60 performances. And what does that mean? That means there were over 60,000 people in the Times Square area last week alone that weren't there the week before. And if you don't think that's going to have a major impact on the city and the energy of it and on the excitement for the theater's return, well, I've got a bridge in this city I could tell you, I guess. Okay, so let's get off my bad dad jokes and let's get to the Places Please Challenge. Mary, hit the share screen. All right, welcome everyone. So here's what we're going to do today. We're all very excited that the theater is coming back, of course, and we want to get you ready for it, okay? So first of all, the first thing I want to do is say a huge thank you. I want to say a huge thank you to every single one of you showing up today. And the reason I want to say thank you is because I want to say thank you for your commitment to the theater. Your commitment to the theater boy, have we needed it over the last 18 months. And for all the fans, for all the theater makers out there that are still as passionate about this industry and as passionate about this art form than ever before, and I know that's all of you here, I'm so thankful for that. I'm so thankful for your commitment to the theater, but I'm also thankful for your commitment to yourself as a theater maker. You are literally showing up for, yes, another Zoom event, another virtual event. You are here. And the reason you are here is because you are committed to making more theater and better theater and learning how to do just that. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to help you with that. Now, I will tell you this. A lot of people I ran in, because I'm running into more people these days. I ran into a very, very, very veteran producer last week. And they wanted to have lunch this week. And I was like, I can't, I have a challenge. And they were like, I don't know what that is. And I described what it was. And they looked at me and they just said, why? Why are you doing this? And I thought I'd take a moment to answer that question, both for this veteran producer who I hope is watching, and also for every single one of you. And the very simple answer of why I do this is quite simply, I believe the world is a better place if there is more theater in it. That's it. That's what I believe. I believe the world is a better place if there's more theater in it. And there's only more theater in it if there are people like you making it. That's right. It's because of people like you. You're the reason why I blog and why I podcast, why I host the Theatermakers Summit, why I founded the studio, and why I'm here today on this challenge, and why we've assembled all these great speakers here for you this week. Because if it weren't for you, Broadway and the theater would cease to exist, So I'm so thankful again that all of you are here. But why now? So why are we doing this challenge? Why did I throw this on my team just a few weeks ago and say, we got to do a challenge and we got to do it right now? And why did they all like sort of roll their eyes, but then roll up their sleeves and say, okay, we know why we're doing this? Because the fact is that I also believe that we're about to enter the most exciting era of theater making any of us have ever known. I've been doing this for 25 years now, and I've never seen a more exciting time. We've had a very, very dark time. Now we're going to have a very, very exciting time. That's right, because as I've said before, the Renaissance is coming. We're going to scratch that. The Renaissance is here. It's here right now. Right now. The fact that we have Broadway shows up and running again, from our classics like Wicked and Hamilton to groundbreaking new plays like Passover, this era that we're about to enter into is going to make the shutdown worth it. I'm giving you a little preview right now of my keynote that I'm going to deliver at this year's Theatermakers Summit, but I'm telling you, it's going to make it worth it. And I'm not the one who is the only one who thinks this. If you remember last year at the Theatermakers Summit, our keynote speaker, Chris Jackson, said this: the last time America faced a pandemic, the next 10 years were some of the most productive and fun foundational years in our art form. Not just on Broadway, in our art form. Whether that's here in the East Village, in the Bronx, or in Nova Scotia, or Toronto, or Switzerland, wherever you are, the theater is about to enter a transformational period. So what does that mean? What does it mean? It means more opportunities for more theater makers, just like each and every one of you. The only question I have is, will you be ready for your Places Call? Will you be ready for it? Now that it's begun, now that we're gearing back up, will you be ready? So if you're worried, I don't want you to worry. We're going to make sure you are. That's what this week is about. That's what the studio is about. That's what the Theatermakers Summit is about. That's what everything we do is about. Making sure you are ready to accomplish everything you want to accomplish in the theater and more. So if you want to make theater, you are in the right place right now. Pat yourself on the back. You signed up for the right challenge. You are in the right place, and we're going to help you. So get to it. Let's get to it, okay? So look, this week, this challenge, it's about getting ready and getting ready quickly. So what I've put together is I'm going to give you 3 tips to finishing something and fast, because I know there was a lot of stuff over the last 15, 16, 17 months. They were like, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this, and I'm going to do this. And maybe you didn't quite achieve all those goals yet, right? Maybe you didn't quite get there. Okay, it's okay. We're going to acknowledge that. There was a lot going on. We had moments where there were very good Netflix shows on. There were moments, frankly, when we just had to go buy a big box of Oreos and binge eat them to get through the last year and a half. So I get it. I get it. But we're going to give you some tips right now to finishing whatever it is you're working on, whatever project you're on, whether you're writing something new, whether you have to raise a certain amount of money to fund a project, a film, no matter what it is. Here are 3 tips to finishing something right now and fast. Are we ready? Okay. The first one is I want you to use this method that I've actually studied from others and gleaned from myself that I call the big 3. Okay. The big 3 is that you decide what to do this week and every day. So every Sunday, you're going to come up with what your big 3 is. Now, how do you establish your big 3? So you're going to ask yourself, like, what's most important to you? What dream, what goal, what ambition is most important to you? Acting, writing, producing, painting, whatever it is. Not that makes you the most money to survive. What's most important to you? Okay? And then you're going to ask yourself, what if you finish will have the biggest impact on your life? That's right. What if you complete will have the biggest impact on your life? And I want you to come up with 3 of them. Those are your big 3. You're going to work on 3 things in that week. You're going to identify these 3 things, and you're going to work on those big 3 that week and try to accomplish those things. Okay? Now, how do we do that? Here's where we get very specific. I want you to calendar time each and every day to make sure you make time for what you want to do. This is the thing. Right now, it's actually a crazy period for us, right? We all have a ton going on. So it's very easy for us to get distracted by all the things we actually don't want to do, especially when those things are easy. How many of you are like this? You've got a big project you want to do. Maybe you want to write revise an act of a play, start a new musical, and the thought of that is so overwhelming. You're like, I'm just going to do this small thing. I'm just going to write this email to this person because that'll take no time. But that email isn't as important to you as what would happen if you finished that revision of that act or if you started that new musical. We often put off those things that are overwhelming or seem more difficult or more challenging. We focus on these little things. It's biological. They give us a little shot of adrenaline, right? They give us, I finished something. I'm accomplishing something. But the fact is, you're not accomplishing the big things that actually will have the biggest impact on your life. So that's what the big 3 is all about. And then what you have to do is schedule time for them. Schedule time, 30 minutes, an hour, squeeze it in wherever you can. Get up 30 minutes earlier if you can to focus on it. And how I want you to think about this is think of it like a doctor's appointment or a flight to Hawaii. You wouldn't miss that, right? I often say, how come if all of us on this challenge right now, and tell me if you agree with this, if you had a flight for 4:30 a.m. tomorrow morning from JFK, which meant you had to get in a car at like 2:30, but that flight was going to Hawaii, to Jakarta, to, I don't know, wherever your dream vacation is, you'd go. You'd get up. How come we can get up for a trip to Hawaii that's going to last a week, but we can't get up sometimes to work on something that may change the rest of our life? So think of it like a doctor's appointment or a flight to Hawaii, and I promise you'll show up. Now, last, this is something new that I've just started that I'm finding very successful. I want you to use what I'm calling right now the algebra exam method to make sure you finish what you want to accomplish in the time allotted. So often, if you calendar, right, you'll calendar 30 minutes, you'll calendar an hour, you'll calendar a certain part of your day to work on a script or whatever it is you want to work on, raising money, whatever it is, right? And say you give yourself, I want to rewrite a scene in 30 minutes, okay? Here's how you make sure you finish. I want you to butt up something against that writing time, that raising money time, that voice lesson time, whatever that is, butt up something against it that you can't miss, that you can't be late for. Another doctor's appointment, a phone call, a meeting with your trainer, whatever it is, something that you can't be late for. The start of the new episode of Ted Lasso. I mean, I'm not missing that. So whatever that is, butt it up right against. Here's what happens. You get put on a timer, right? That you can't be late for. We all finished those algebra exams, right? We finished our SATs. They told us, finish the SATs in the time allotted because it's better that you get to everyone and just try to grab an answer somewhere, right? Get through it. Get through it. I want you to get through it. Don't worry about being perfect. Get through it in the time allotted so you finish. And what I'm finding very helpful to me is that if I set a lunch date or something where I need to be by a certain time right before, the automatic deadline goes on, right? And the thing is, we have trouble as human beings as setting artificial deadlines. We need external pressure. We need someone else. We need that accountability, right? We need a friend waiting for us somewhere. Where is Ken? He told me he would be here 15 minutes ago. I don't want to let him down. I'm going to rush through whatever I need to get through in order to meet my friend for that coffee. So try that method. I find it very successful. You do these three things. You set the big three, your intention for the big three of the week and every single day. You calendar those, and then you butt it up against something important. You will finish more. And when you finish something, that's when you can truly begin. I get a lot of people coming to me saying, I have ideas. I have an idea for a show. I have an idea for a play, for a musical, for an app, right? How many people have multiple ideas for things? Well, the fact is, an idea gets you nowhere. It's only when that idea is realized into the form of a script, in the form of something tangible that you can rehearse, that you can put up. That's only when our journey to making theater can truly begin. So get things finished fast. This is a challenge, which means you're going to have some homework. Here is your homework. And by the way, there are all these we're giving away a bunch of stuff. We're giving away a bunch of stuff, including an iPad. So the only way you can win any of the we have tickets, we have lots of stuff. The only way you can win is if you do your homework. And Mary or Kerry or someone from the team is going to describe the protocols for finishing your homework. But let me tell you something. The iPad is only half the reason why you should do your homework this week. Win the iPad, but the iPad isn't going to change your life as much as finishing the homework could. So here's your homework, okay? Identify your big three for this week. What three things could you finish this week that could have the biggest impact on your goals in the theater? What three things? Identify them. That's it. Won't take long. Calendar time to work on each of the three. Schedule the time. Put it in your calendar, your planner, Google Calendar, whatever you use. Schedule that time. And then show up to that time like it's a flight to Hawaii. That's what I want you to do. Show up like it's a flight to Hawaii, or better, show up like your dreams depended on it. Because they do. They do. Go get them, everybody. Welcome to the Places Please Challenge. I hope that these tips help you get further along to where you need to be. And this is just the beginning. This is just the beginning of a great week for all of you. Thank you so much again for being here and being committed to the theater, being committed to yourself. I'm going to kick it back now to the rest of the speakers we have lined up for you today and for the rest of the week.
Thank you, Ken.
You're welcome, Kerry. I'm going to head over to the VIP.
You're such a motivational speaker.
Listen, I'm sure you feel the same way. I'm very blessed, right? So I wake up every morning and I get to work on my hobby.
Yeah.
Like I love what I do, and I want other people to experience how great it is to be able to do this all the time.
I always feel the same way. Like whenever I open a stage door, I always say thank you because I'm like, I can't believe I get to do what I love every single time. And I have my calendar and I wrote down my big three, but I don't have them yet.
Yes. All right.
But
Well,
I wrote on a calendar.
yeah, you're doing pretty well. Just a little. You're doing pretty well. Mom, Broadway star, you're doing just fine. All right, I'm going to jump over into the Zoom room. By the way, we do have VIP tickets still available. If you want to grab a VIP, get this. So my dad passed away last year, and I started a scholarship in his name, and we've been giving some money away. It's been great. Anyone who buys a VIP ticket today, 100% of your purchase is going right into that scholarship fund, my dad's Dr. Kenny Encouragement Fund. So we'll put the link in there. So go ahead and join me, and I'm being that Zoom room. Bye, guys.
That's so nice. That's so nice. Thank you, Ken. Thank you so much. So next up, oh yes, and I think Ken said this, but you can still buy a VIP ticket by clicking in the link in the comments. So next up, we have Joe Rosko. Joe Rosko launched his company Built for the Stage in 2017 after playing Division I college football while majoring in musical theater. And since then, he has gone on to train actors in over 20 Broadway shows and national tours. Welcome, Joe.
Hey, Kerry. Thanks for having me.
Sure. Thanks for being here.
My pleasure. All right. Hello, everyone. This is my time now, my 10 to 15 minutes. Tough act to follow. Broadway star Kerry Butler and Tony Award winner Ken Davenport, but I'm super grateful to be here. I'm down here in Miami. I wish I could see you all face to face, maybe drop some haze in the comments, or just reach out to me at Built for the Stage, shoot me a DM to say hi, instead of just staring at this green light on my laptop. But the cool thing about this is that there are people I saw like from Switzerland or California, places that you're at right now that wouldn't have allowed you perhaps to attend this week, this challenge. So hello to everyone. And I hope to meet you maybe in the Zoom room afterwards. So like Kerry said, my name is Joe, and I did play Division I football and also majored in musical theater. I like to think, and I looked it up when I was playing, that I was the only listed musical theater major in the country playing football. But that was my life, and that's really how Built for the Stage started. So if you're a theater maker out there and you're wondering, how is this first speaker, or I guess second behind Ken, going to relate to me? I promise you, I think you'll have some golden nuggets to take away from this little chat. I have 5 topics that I want to talk to you about. They will be fitness related, but the overall, I guess, theme will be that everything is everything. So that's the first topic that I'm going to talk about, is everything is everything. So when we're talking about fitness or the body, the mind, the spirit, the heart, it's all directly related to that. So like Kerry kindly mentioned, I do have the gift of training people in over 20 Broadway shows right now, as well as college kids across the country or national tours, or just actors trying to book their next gig, or theater makers like you if you're not a performer. And what I always tell them is everything is everything. So the first thing I do when I wake up is I make my bed. You probably have heard this famous speech by someone in the military. I believe he was giving a commencement speech for a college graduation. And it's true. You start your day with accomplishing the simplest of a task, like making your bed, but it sets the tone for your day. And honestly, this day for me right now has been a bit of a struggle, because typically I get up, I journal, I make my bed, I journal, I have my breakfast, and I go straight to my training session to get my workout out of the way. Because for me, it's more so mental therapy than it is for physical exercise. But I had to kind of flip-flop my schedule because I knew I had to come speak with y'all. And I was having to fight and suppress that anxiety today. So taking deep breaths and just trying to recenter myself. So I am approaching this as a challenge of my own to step outside of my ritual or my schedule, and be here with you all the best that I can be. And I'm grateful for that. Ken had mentioned, putting things in your calendar or schedule. Huge on that. If it's in your calendar, if you're committed to it, if you set the time aside, if you've prioritized it, you're more likely to make it happen than just to kind of, put it up in your mind somewhere that like, I'm going to get to it. No, we're going to set out the time and day and actually get it done. So back to everything is everything. You hear a lot of times like having a messy home or apartment or a room can subconsciously mess with your mind. Messy space, messy mind. It's the same with our bodies in fitness, with working out and trying to enhance our level of performance or our well-being. Your body is the room, is the house for your heart, for your mind, for your spirit. So if you're not cleaning your body, if we're going with that messy room analogy, if you're not taking the time to enhance your performance physically or to just better your well-being physically, that room, that structure that is housing your heart, mind, and spirit, it's going to affect those other things. So if you're wanting to write that script, if you're wanting to seek that producer for funding, if you're wanting to do all these things and you're busy and you're saying, Joe, I don't have time to work out, or I don't have the motivation, or I just don't want to do it, I'm here to tell you that you need to take the time to clean your house, to work on your house, to work on your body. I'm not speaking aesthetically. I haven't mentioned anything about weight loss or looking. I'm just talking about your general health and well-being of your physical body. So that's all I'm going to say about that. My second thing, we're going to say just start, just jump. So that's our second topic. Madison or Mary, one of the ladies there can put that up there. Just start. So you all out there have aspirations of maybe producing your own play, or if you're a performer, getting back to auditions after this long pandemic, or whatever it is that you are artistically pursuing, you have to just start. And if you already have, you just have to keep going. Nothing's going to be perfect. Nothing's going to be permanent as well. So many people allow fear and the unknown of what will be to prevent them from even getting started. And I said this to Mary. She had emailed me about just what's one thing that you would just want people to grab onto. And that would be it. Would be you have people like Ken, you have people like Kerry, you have people in the industry that you look up to, and you probably think, wow, they're so special. Wow, they're so unlike me. Or I wish I could do that. It's just never going to be in the cards for me. But the reality is, yes, Ken, Kerry, these people, yes, they're special. But the reality is that they're no different than you. And at one point in their life and career, they made the decision to start, to just jump. And there's so many things to be discovered and to get better at, but you're going to get to those things when you get to those things. Something I say with my therapist when we're talking about affirmations, I like to say, I'm on my way to where I'm supposed to be. And if you don't know where that is, the key point is I'm on my way. And you can't be on your way unless you start. And it's the same with fitness that I tell my clients that say, I'll start when I get in better shape. Well, how are you going to start with me as working together to get in better shape unless you start? You just have to start. You have to just get going. So I'll be a better producer once I know the XYZ on producing a play, or I'll be a better theater maker in regards to becoming a costume designer once I maybe hone this craft just a little. No, you just get started and those things will take care of themselves. I'll move on to my next point, but one story I want to tell you is about my podcast, Built for the Stage. My podcast, Built for the Stage, I started in first week of January of 2018. I had no idea what I was doing, but I listened to podcasts, and some podcasts in particular really inspired me to get this business started. And I knew that my clients that are on Broadway had special stories to tell, and I wanted to tell them. I got a lapel microphone on a splitter, so there's two of them, plugged it into my cell phone, okay, and got this app. It's called Anchor. If anyone's interested in starting their own podcast, Anchor is a great podcast platform because they do a lot of stuff for you. It's very user friendly. I have to sit next to my guest, right? Like shoulder to shoulder, because we're on these splitter mics, and we do our interviews not in this bougie studio that I used to get to do before the pandemic, and hopefully get to return with Broadway Podcast Network. But we were on the streets of New York. So I'd be interviewing them, talking, and you'd hear like a homeless person screaming like crazy, or construction where it was a mess. Okay. But I'm now over 130 episodes in, which is basically an episode a week. So over 2 years of doing this now. And if you listen to, the first couple episodes in comparison to what they are now, it's a world of difference. But if I didn't just get started with those lapel mics plugged into my cell phone, I would never have gotten to the place I am now. And going back to looking at amazing people like Kerry and Ken, they didn't just get to the place that they're at now instantly. They had to start and just rough it and figure it out, and Kerry work on her voice and acting and dance, and Ken figuring out the industry and how he can make different networking connections and angles. And so they didn't just, and it's the same for y'all. So if you're just getting started, or if this is slow and beginning phases of your process, keep going. You can only get there by going there. All right. Hear me on that. Okay. Third point, what I love about is you see the results in your efforts. And what I mean by that is that if you show up consistently, and let's just say, you're lifting some weights overhead and they're 5 pounds, and that's all you can do. If you keep going and you have a plan, eventually those turn into 7.5, or they turn into 10 pounds or whatever. And you physically can see the results happening before your eyes when you're putting in the work. And sometimes in the arts, it's a bit more difficult because you are putting in the work, but sometimes there are different other variants that are out of your control. So fitness for me allows me to center myself and ground myself that, hey, I'm going to be disciplined and put in this work, and I'm going to, in real time, see it happening. If you are doing the fitness in real time and you're not seeing it happening, then reach out. Maybe we just need to readjust your plan a bit. But if you're doing it the right way, you're going to see it happening. And I want to bring this up because in the arts, it can be a challenge to keep going. I'm getting like emotional thinking about either my pursuit in it or clients or whatever. But how fitness has helped me is that it ingrains in me the attitude, the mantra of continuing to show up and knowing that my work will pay off. And how I relate that to the arts is that even though in real time or not as literal, I could see it happening for me, because of my fitness journey, I am trained to continue to show up and put in the work. And I'm telling you, eventually, if it hasn't happened for you, haven't seen what you wanted to see out of your career or your pursuit and your projects right now, if you keep showing up, it's gonna happen. If you stop showing up to the plate and stop swinging, you're never going to hit it. It's never going to happen. But just keep showing up to the plate. My fourth thing, it's I can do hard things. I can do hard things. Say that to yourself. I can do hard things. In fitness, when I show up and I'm working through a set or I'm doing a tough conditioning piece, I'm proving to myself by finishing those things, by showing up, giving my best that day and finishing those things, I'm proving to myself that I can do hard things. So when I'm about to step into the audition room, I'm about to go into a meeting where I'm trying to pitch some investors to back my project, or I'm trying to get maybe partners to partner with me to work together on something I'm trying to produce, you will have that confidence in yourself that, hey, I can do hard things. And I can't tell you how many times I go back to myself in my mind when I'm approaching things like this. I'm doing this thing. It's not easy to talk into this green dot on the screen and have no idea what's going on with these people that are listening to me. It's tough. But I've proven to myself through showing up for fitness and other things in my life because of what I've done through fitness is that I can do it. I've shown up before. I've had doubts. I've had fears, and I've leaned into them. I've approached them with an open mind, with a humble mindset. But at the same time, I've had a mantra or a chip on my shoulder that I can do this. So if you show up for yourself in the gym and you really challenge yourself, that's going to carry over into your career or into your relationships that, hey, I do hard things every day. And for me, I love doing my workout first thing because later on in the day, if other challenging things come up, I'll say, shoot, I've already checked off some boxes of plenty of tough things today. Let's keep it rolling. And that kind of goes back to the everything is everything. You're in this groove with your body, with your mind, with your spirit of oiling the chain, I'll say, that just becomes everything for you. You just keep showing up in that way, no matter what it is you're doing in your life. All right. Last thing I'm going to talk about is you're doing this for you. Ultimately, you're doing this for you. So a lot of the times in a fitness journey, a big fear of people, especially if they're going to work out at a gym in public, is thinking that they're going to be judged or thinking that they're less than or thinking that I don't know what I'm doing or, it's going to be the same thing for you probably sometimes in your pursuit of whatever you're trying to create or whatever you're trying to accomplish in your performance career or being a scenic designer, whatever it may be. You're going to have a fear, whether you want to admit it or not, but subconsciously, we all are kind of wired about thinking, what are other people going to think? Or why am I really afraid? Am I afraid to fail because I don't want to fail myself? Or am I afraid that other people will see me fail and I'm worried about thinking about what they think about me? So what I want to say to you all right now is that you have to go back to the beginning of why are you doing this? It's probably a passion that's buried deep inside of you. And you have to remember that this is for me. Yes, I can affect other people. Yes, I can help other people, but you can only give your best to others unless you give your best to yourself. So if you're going to the gym and you're worried about those people judging you, they probably could care less about what you're doing. And if they do care what you're doing, screw them. Forget them. They have issues of their own. And if anything, you should feel sorry for them. You have to be there for you. And that's the same thing with your fears of trying to produce a new work or writing your own script or whatever. You can't be worried about what other people are going to think about it. John, I don't know, this was not a part of my talk, but John Mayer just posted about his 20-year anniversary of his album that had Your Body is a Wonderland on it. And he writes, you should look it up on his Instagram. He writes this great caption about if he was worried about what people would have thought of this title or this song about Your Body is a Wonderland, he would have never done it. But it was just in him. The words came out. He liked the groove and he put it out there, and it was loved by the masses. But now 20 years later, he's looking at it and he's kind of laughing about it. He's like, this is kind of silly. But he just did it. And he's John Mayer now. Okay. So just do it. You're doing this for you. And that's all I have to say. I hope that this green dot I'm looking at loved it. I hope that you all got something from it. And it's just been a pleasure to speak to you all. I hope to see you in the Zoom room. Would love to have you work with me for free for a little bit if you wanted to take some advantage of getting some one-on-one coaching online. I work with people across the world, performers and theater makers in Australia and London. So wherever you're at, would love to get to meet you and chat with you in the Zoom room. So it's been a pleasure. And yeah, have a great day, everyone.
Thanks, Joe. That was really great.
Thank you, Kerry.
So I want to give you like another little plug. So you're now training people mainly online. Is that how it's working?
It's actually all online. There's 2 exceptions. I actually just got I think I could say this. I was just hired by the Disney team to train their new actor that's playing Aladdin coming up in their reopening. So I am training a few people in person, but mostly it's all online via an app. And there's video demos. We talk through messaging on the app. It's user-friendly where you get to submit your workouts on a daily basis. It shows up to me on like a Facebook timeline feed. So if you submit your workout, you can.
What are you trying to say?
that everyone should work out. So you.
Yes, no, I know. I know what I do really need to work out. I was asking partially for me because I'm stressed.
Yeah. No. Yeah. So if you submit your workout, you can attach a video of yourself doing something and saying, "Hey, is this the correct technique or whatever?" And then I'll reply back, great job on your workout. I see you asked this question and give you answers. So it's very personal. It's as personal as it can be, minus being in the same room. And it's affordable. And that was like another reason I started this whole business, because I know in the arts, having your own trainer or maybe taking these, bougie fitness classes that cost whatever, $80 a class to go to is just not really up people's alleys per se at the moment. So that's, really why I started all this, to just equip performers and theater makers to be their best self.
Thank you so much. And also like so innovative that you are, one of the only people I know who did this whole thing with an app and everything.
Yeah, I started it back in 2017. I'm very blessed with my business background, with who I came into connections with throughout my career, and also my kind of eclectic work in fitness. There's different fitness industries or businesses that had been doing the online scene since maybe, from my recollection, like 2012, 2013. Not via an app, because apps weren't big then, but I already saw like how this could work and how it could play out. And that's really how it all began with me in 2017.
Well, great. Thank you so much for joining us here. And now you can go see him in the VIP Zoom room to answer additional questions if you want. And remember, if you don't have a ticket, you can still buy a VIP ticket by clicking the link in the comments. I don't know which way they are. Maybe that way. Thanks, Joe.
Bye. See you. Thank you.
Bye. Okay. We are coming to the end of our day. Let's just go over our homework for the day, okay? Sorry, I know you have homework, but it's fun homework. Identify your big 3. Schedule time to work on these 3 and show up. Homework will be posted in the Facebook group and pinned to the top of the page. Those who complete the homework before 12 p.m. Eastern EDT. Is that Eastern Standard Time? Yeah, right? Okay. Tomorrow will be eligible for our giveaway. Day one's giveaway. 2 tickets to The Play That Goes Wrong. So we'll see you all tomorrow. I'll be back at 12 with T. Oliver Reid and Bret Shuford. Thank you so much for supporting theater.
It's the Theatermakers Challenge. Places, please. Places, please. Places, please.